Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 1972 playoffs in Momentum Football. Tonight we've got the last of our AFC Divisional Playoff games, and then we're all set for the championship round in the Final Four. Taking a look at our most updated playoff brackets. In the NFC, we have the NFC Championship game all set. After the Washington Redskins escaped a scare from the Minnesota Vikings, they'll be hosting the Dallas Cowboys, who got away from the Green Bay Packers in their game. As for the AFC, which is where our attention turns tonight, the Cincinnati Bengals are waiting in the AFC Championship game after holding the Pittsburgh Steelers off at Three Rivers Stadium. The winner of tonight's game between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders, and we are at the Orange Bowl tonight, will be hosting the AFC Championship game. And we'll be playing both conference championship games on Championship Saturday this week. So we are expecting a sellout at the Orange Bowl, sea of teal and green to be had tonight between these two great teams. They never played in the postseason, and I was looking for that. So this is a very high-stakes matchup between the Raiders and the Dolphins, and we're just about ready to get this show started. So let's say we jump right in, and we'll start off as usual with the coin toss. Dolphins, Raiders, decision. Odds the winning team will defer. Evens the winning team will receive the opening kickoff. Coin toss will be won by the Dolphins, and they will receive. So the pregame festivities are wrapped up. We are all set. And fortunately, we can skip the kickoff and punt return procedures in terms of having them return for a touchdown, because that won't be a thing in this game. I've ticked off our first time, and the Dolphins have the opening drive of the first quarter. So let's drop down to the field and tell Earl Morrall, the quarterback for the Dolphins, to take it away. And he'll take it away all right with 8 time coming off the clock. Down to 12 minutes to play in the first quarter. An 8 is coming off of Miami's offense, but a 24. The Dolphins are going to have to punt that one away. And the Dolphins can't have a punt blocked. So we are underway here at the Orange Bowl. The Raiders now get their first drive of the first quarter. Let's see what Oakland is able to do with this one. That will be another 8 time coming off the clock. 4 coming off Miami's defense, and a 26 is going to be a quarterback sack. And Darryl LaMonica for the Raiders is going to hold on to that one for a little too long. Stadium cheers. Yay! That'll be a 10-yard loss. That was an ugly sack. Unlike the Dolphins, the Raiders can have a punt blocked, but it's got to be an 11 on red and white, and then it's automatic after that. Let's see if the Raiders get the punt away. Raiders get the punt away nice and clean. And Miami out and driving with 9:20 to play in the first quarter. Let's see what the Dolphins are able to do with this drive. Taking another 7 time off the clock. The 7's coming off of Miami's offense. 43 is going to be a field goal attempt. Here will come Garo Yepremian to try to give the Dolphins the early lead. For those of you who might be writing off the Raiders in this one, do that at your own peril. We've seen a lot of crazy things in this replay. In fact, the Dolphins have even fallen on the board. We'll see if they've got a little bit of stage fright here. Yepremian is an 11 to 45 to make this kick. That's a 64. Kick is up, and it is no good. Stadium groans. Ugh. 24, 33, 17. That's a 50-yard kick. And we are still scoreless here in the first quarter, just past the halfway mark. Raiders with their second drive of the first quarter. Let's see what they do with this one. Ticking another 7 time off the clock. 5 coming off of Miami's defense. And a 46. The Raiders are going to have to punt that one away. Let's see if the punt gets blocked. It does not. Miami now with their third drive of the first quarter. As we're ticking another 4 time off the clock. We're down to 3:20 to play. 4 is coming off of Oakland's defense. And a 21. That's going to be an interception, and Morrow's going to throw that to the wrong color jersey. Raiders can return an interception for a touchdown, but they need 11 to 12 on red and white, and then a 32 and under on blue and yellow with a 12. And that will very much not be returned for a touchdown, but that will be a 64. That will be Nehemiah Wilson picking that one off for the Raiders. Stadium groans. Ugh. The Raiders are not going to get many better opportunities than that. They need to take advantage of these turnovers. We saw how turnovers doomed both Minnesota and Pittsburgh earlier in the playoffs. Raiders need to make the Dolphins pay for these turnovers. Let's see what the Raiders can do here. The Raiders will tick another 6 time off the clock. 4 coming off Miami's defense. 53 is going to be a key penalty, and as that's against as the momentum right now is with the Raiders, that'll be a personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty, and the Raiders will get a new set of downs. Stadium barfs. Bleh. But it will pull momentum all the way with the Raiders, and they'll get this next drive, they'll get this next reading off their offense no matter what. The Raiders need to take advantage of a rare lapse by Miami. That probably won't do it. That'll be another 7 time coming off the clock, which will actually get us into the second quarter. And after 1, we are scoreless here at the Orange Bowl. Off their offense, a 45 is going to be a field goal attempt. And here will come George Blanda for the first time to try to give the Raiders the lead. He's an 11 to 46 on field goals. Can the Raiders take the lead? Here's the lineup. Here's the snap. Hold looks good. Blanda with the kick. That's a 33. Kick is up. It is good. And the Raiders have the lead. They pick up some points off the Miami turnover. 19-17 is a 36-yard kick. And the Raiders lead by a score of 3-0. Stadium groans. Ugh. Dolphins with the interception and then the roughing the passer call. As Philip Anderson now joins us here at the Orange Bowl. And yes, we are going to see what Miami's made of in the playoffs. They trounced the Redskins when it didn't mean anything and had a shocker against the Jets back in Week 10. Now, we see if stage fright gets a hold of the Dolphins again. Miami with their first drive of the second quarter, and here's the snap. That will be 7 time coming off the clock for the Dolphins. 11 coming off of Miami's offense. 51 will be a field goal attempt. And here will come Yepremian to try to tie the game for Miami. Miami's already had 2 terrible blunders against them here. They had an interception and then a roughing the passer call. What can Yepremian do with this kick? He's an 11 to 45. That's a 16. Kick is up. It is good. 6-8-17 is a 25-yard kick. Of course, not momentum changing, but it will be enough to tie the game for the Dolphins at 3. Taking off time on the kickoff, and the Raiders will get their second drive of the second quarter. You almost get the... Phil, maybe you'll see this differently. But I get the feeling in this one, Oakland is kind of playing a little bit with house money tonight, where nobody really expects the Raiders to do much against the Dolphins, especially since the two teams finished so wildly apart in this replay. Do you kind of get that vibe out of this game as well? Anyway, Raiders with the drive. LaMonica takes the snap, and here's the drive. That will be 7 time coming off the clock. Down to 8:40 to play. 5 coming off Miami's defense. 26 is going to be a quarterback sack. Stadium cheers. Yay! That will be another 9-yard loss. The Raiders are taking some ugly sacks in this one. Anywho, time to see about another punt block. Ooh, Dolphins get some pressure, but the Raiders pick everybody up, and the punt gets off clean. Miami now with their second drive of the second quarter, down to 8:40 to play in the first quarter. Or the second quarter, I should say. Shockingly, we are tied at 3. Morale probably takes the snap, and here's the drive. Taking another 9 time off the clock. Down to 5:40 to play in the second quarter. 8 coming off Miami's offense, and a 46 is going to be a field goal attempt. Here comes Yepremian to try to give the Dolphins the lead. Yepremian missed from 50 and was good from 25. Let's see what Yepremian can do with this kick. Again, 11 to 45. That is a 56. Kick is up. It is no good. 30, 41, and 17. That's a 58-yard kick. No way do you try that with a choice. No way do you try that in 1972. Game is tied at 3, as the Raiders now get their third drive with 5:40 to play in the second quarter. LaMonica takes the snap, and here's the drive. Taking another 6 time off the clock. Down to 3:40 to play. 9 coming off of Oakland's offense, but a 31. The Raiders are going to have to punt that one away, as ID Jester now joins us here at the Orange Bowl. Just in time to see if the Raiders are going to have a punt blocked. Yes, this is a close game. Ooh, a close play. The Dolphins once again come with pressure, but the Raiders are able to get the punt away. Just barely, though. Wow. You get the feeling this is going to be a defensive struggle the way things are going. Dolphins with their third drive of the second quarter, which, looking at the time, is probably going to be their last. Let's see what the Dolphins can do with this drive. That will be 8 time coming off the clock for the Dolphins. 4 coming off Oakland's defense, but a 64. That's going to be a touchdown pass, and the Dolphins will take the lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! Score is now 9-3, pending the extra point. That will be 61, will be on a touchdown pass. That'll be Mike Siani making that catch. He'll make that from 4 yards out. 11-64, Yepremian will add the extra point. It's not automatic. That's a 41. Kick is up. It is good. And our first touchdown allows the Dolphins to take a 10-3 lead, what they think is going to be going into halftime. Momentum should be there. Oakland, as we're going to be down under 3 time, as we're going to have 3 time left after the kickoff, they will go for a Hail Mary to see if they can get this game tied going into halftime. Basically a free play for the Raiders at this point because they get the ball to start the second half. They're going to go on a key reception, as is the case on the Hail Mary. Dolphins have a little bit of breathing room, but let's see if the Raiders can eat into it on the Hail Mary. That is going to be a 34 on the Hail Mary. That pass is going to Hubbard, and a 23 is going to be a first down, but the Hail Mary is going to be considered stopped. And we will be at halftime. Score at the half is now 10-3 in favor of Miami. And as usual at halftime, I will take a small break. No football tomorrow night, but I'm sure I'll be playing something else on the channel. I do have something in mind for another project I'm going to be working on next month. We'll be back with football, though, on Saturday, as we'll be having Conference Championship Saturday after Mystical Munchies. Mystical Munchies will be out of the official Catan cookbook once more, as we finish with the dessert, homemade fudge bricks. As for after that, we're going to have one probably in the afternoon. We'll have the NFC Championship game between the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys at RFK Stadium. Then after the War Room on Saturday, we're going to have the AFC Championship game, where the Cincinnati Bengals will be visiting the winner of this game. So tune in. Well, tune in for everything on the channel, but if you're interested in football, we'll be back to that with Conference Championship Saturday. And now we are all set for the third quarter of play. I've ticked off the kickoff, and the Raiders will start with the ball. Let's see what LaMonica can do with this drive. Here is the opening drive of the third quarter. We'll tick another 5 time off the clock. A 4 is coming off Miami's defense, and a 41 is going to force the Raiders to punt the opening drive away. We'll see if the punt gets blocked. Wow. The Dolphins came close on a couple occasions, but they're not going to there. No block, no return for the Dolphins on that punt. As the Dolphins managed to get the drive. Yes, this looks like it's going to be an exciting second half. Let's see what the Dolphins can do with their first drive of the third quarter. Morale takes the snap, and here's the drive. We'll take another 6 time off the clock. 5 is coming off Oakland's defense with a 34. The Dolphins are going to have to punt that one away. Oakland with their second drive of the third quarter. Let's see what the Raiders can do with this one. We'll take another 6 time off the clock. 6 is coming off of Miami's defense. And a 51, the Raiders are going to have to punt that one away again. Rolling for the block punt. No block. Miami holding on tenaciously to that 10-3 lead, not letting the Raiders near the end zone. Yes, Conference Championship Saturday should be quite the exciting day. We're already getting near the end of this 1972 season replay. Coming back to the Orange Bowl, the Dolphins are set for their second drive of the third quarter, and here's the snap. We'll tick another 8 time off the clock. Down to 6:20 to play. 7 will be coming off the team with momentum, that's Miami. 45 is going to be a field goal attempt, and Yepremian is going to try to give the Dolphins a little bit of breathing room. Except Yepremian has been spotty today. He's missed from 50 and 58 and made from 25. Let's see what the Dolphins can do with this kick. That's a 62. Kick is up. It is no good. 12, 15, and 17 is a 32-yard kick. Score remains 10-3 in favor of Miami, but that does give Oakland a little bit of jolt of momentum. It gives them some life. Can the Raiders take advantage here? They need to get something going. Down by 7. LaMonica takes the snap. And here's the drive. Taking another 6 time off the clock. 5 is coming off Miami's defense. And a 35. The Raiders are going to have to punt that one away. We'll see about the block. No, but the Dolphins once again get pressure. The Raiders need to take advantage of these Dolphin miscues. Speaking of Dolphin miscues, let's see what the Dolphins do on this drive. As it's their third drive, I should say, of the third quarter. Coming off, 6 time coming off the clock. Down to 2:20 to play. 7 coming off the team with momentum. That's Oakland now. 24 is going to be a quarterback sack by the Raiders. Stadium groans. Ugh. And a 10-yard loss. We've got some ugly sacks tonight. And of course, no block, no return, as I checked that for the Raiders as well. Raiders getting some stops, but their offense is not giving them a lot of help. Let's see what they can do with this drive, as it's their 4th drive already of the third quarter. We'll take another 7 time off the clock. Not quite into the third quarter, but the Dolphins' next drive will be. 2 is coming off Miami's defense, and a 26 is a quarterback sack. Stadium cheers. Yay! And that's an 11-yard loss. Wow. Still, ugly sacks tonight. Let's see if the Dolphins can capitalize on that with a blocked punt. They get some pressure, but the Raiders are able to pick everybody up and the punt gets off clean. Dolphins, this drive will take us into the 4th quarter. Let's see what the Dolphins can manage to put together here. They need to get some breathing room. A 7-point lead is not safe in momentum football. We'll take another 8 time off the clock. Right. I think all of our scoring so far happened in the second quarter. And after 3, it is currently 10-3 in favor of Miami. Let's see, I ticked off the 8 time already. 10 is coming off Miami's offense, but a 24 is going to be a punt, and the Dolphins are going to have to punt that one away. The Raiders can't do anything with it. Let's see what Oakland does with their next drive in this first drive of the 4th quarter. Yes, back-to-back sacks, and we've got a defensive struggle happening here. Let's see what the Raiders can do with this drive. That will be another 7 time coming off the clock for the Raiders. 5 coming off Miami's defense, and a 52. The Raiders are going to have to punt that one away again. Their defense is playing great, but the offense is not giving them any help whatsoever tonight. And the punt gets off clean. You almost get the feeling that the Raiders are going to need to break through on special teams to have a chance in this one. But let's see what the Dolphins can do. Yeah, the Raiders need to get going because they are running out of time. We're at 10 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. And the Dolphins are driving. Here's the drive. Taking another 6 time off the clock. Down to 8 minutes to play. 5 coming off Oakland's defense. 34. The Dolphins are going to have to punt that. Coming off the Raiders' defense, I should say. 34. The Dolphins will have to punt. Oakland getting a lot of stops here, but their offense needs to give them some help. Will they get it on this drive? We will find out. Somehow the momentum is still with the Raiders, but they need to take advantage of this and get it going here. They are 8 minutes away from elimination. LaMonica yells at me for dropping a die, but then he'll take the snap, and here's the drive. Okay, that'll help. 10 time coming off the clock. We're down to 4:40 to play. 9 coming off Oakland's offense, I should say. 64. That's going to be a touchdown pass for the Raiders. Stadium groans. Ugh. $64 will be not Pete Banaszak. Will be Charlie Smith making that catch. He'll take it he's double times 3. 21 yards. Gets a hold of a surprise post out of the backfield, and Blanda automatically adds the extra point because he's 11-66. And with that, we are tied at 10 with 4:40 to play in the fourth quarter. Stadium groans. Ugh. We've got an exciting one brewing here, folks. Let's see what the Dolphins can do with this drive. We will tick off time for the kickoff, so we're down to 4:20 to play after we account for the kickoff. Morale takes the snap, and here's the drive. That'll be 5 time coming off the clock. We're down to 2:40 to play in regulation. 4 coming off of Oakland's defense. 34. The Dolphins will have to punt that one away. Oakland gets the ball back. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 time remaining in regulation. Let's see what the Raiders can do with this drive. The Raiders will take 4 time off the clock. That is not something they want to see right now. 5 coming off Miami's defense. 13. That's going to be a fumble. LaMonica is going to put that one on the ground in a terrible time to do it. Miami can return a fumble for a touchdown on an 11-13, but the 13 also takes a 23 and under on blue and yellow. Do the Dolphins return this one for a touchdown? No! Falling on it for the Dolphins will be Dick Anderson. Stadium cheers. Yay! Miami is just at 5 times, so they have to roll this drive automatic. They have to roll this drive normally. They don't get to go for the Hail Mary. Let's see what the Dolphins can do with this drive. We are ticking exactly 5 time off the clock. 7 coming off the team with momentum. That's Oakland's defense. And the Raiders are going to make them have to punt. And with that, for the first time in this entire replay, and a very high-stakes stage for it, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, I was about to say Cincinnati, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati almost went into overtime, and we will have our first overtime game of this replay as the Dolphins and the Raiders are tied at 10 after 4. We have got high drama tonight, folks, and I will take another small break. I never thought overtime would be a consideration, so the way we're going to do it is we're going to do NFL rules, current NFL rules, where each team is guaranteed a possession unless the team that has the ball first scores a touchdown. In that case, game is immediately over. So, once again, for the first time ever, we need to do a second coin toss. And we're going to do it exactly the same way we did the coin toss to start regulation. Yes, very high stakes for a first overtime game. We are playing for a trip to the... We're not just playing for a trip to the AFC Championship, Philip. Let's not forget. There's a little bit higher stakes than just a trip to there's a little bit higher stakes than just playing for a trip to the AFC Championship. The winner of this game hosts the AFC Championship. Because remember, the Bengals are the 4 seed, Miami's the 2, Oakland's the 3. So the winner tonight will host the AFC Championship game. And just to refresh your memory on how the coin toss works, Dolphins, Raiders, actually, decision's going to be to kick either way, so to receive either way. So I don't think it really much matters I don't think it really much matters here in terms of the decision die. So we're just going to roll Dolphins, Raiders. The winning team is going to want the ball first. Miami won the coin toss in the first for the start regulation. Do they win it to start overtime? Tied coin toss, so we roll it again. No! This time the Raiders win the coin toss. They will receive the opening coin toss to start overtime. Yes, indeed. Very high stakes overtime. If the Raiders score a touchdown here, game's over. If they get a field goal or don't score, the Dolphins get the ball like normal. Raiders. Here we go. Raiders with their first drive of overtime. First overtime of this replay. Raiders with the drive. LaMonica drops back. Highest pressure that either of these teams has been under. Here's the snap, and here's the drive. Ticking off 8 time from overtime. 8 coming off of Oakland's offense and a 65. That is going to be a touchdown pass, and the Raiders have defeated the Dolphins here at the Orange Bowl with an opening overtime touchdown drive to win this game. Stadium barfs. Double barfs. Blah, blah. And for the drive, or for the touchdown pass, 32. Who made the biggest catch in the Raiders' 1972 season replay? Raymond Chester made that catch. And he took it in from doubles. He's a times 5 for 20 yards out. And when the team needed them most, the Oakland Raiders pick up a huge touchdown and will host the AFC Championship game after defeating Miami by a score of 16-10. And the only team in NFL history to finish an undefeated season in real history finishes this replay with a 1-2 record on the board, counting the demo game officially. They actually lost their last 2 games on the board, and now our Final 4 teams and Conference Championship Saturday are all set. In the NFC, the road to the Super Bowl continues to go through RFK Stadium. The Washington Redskins will host the Dallas Cowboys. As for the AFC, the road to the Super Bowl now goes through Oakland, as the Oakland Raiders will host the Cincinnati Bengals. And the fans here at the Orange Bowl are absolutely stunned in this one. But that will do it for this playthrough of Momentum Football for the 1972 NFL season replay. Once again, no football tomorrow night. I will have at least one other video tomorrow night, but I'm not sure what that will be yet. As for football, that will return on Saturday with Conference Championship Saturday. Say that 5 times fast. After Mystical Munchies goes up on Saturday, we'll start off with the NFC Championship game between the Redskins and the Cowboys. Then later in the evening, after the War Room is over, which you guys should stop over on. Jester, is the War Room on your channel this week? I think it is, but I wouldn't swear to it. It's also the 5-year anniversary, I believe, of the War Room. You can correct me on both of those. That will start at 4 o'clock, no. 3 o'clock Eastern, if I remember correctly. You can feel free to put the plug for the War Room in the chat. Anyway, after that's over, we'll have the AFC Championship game between the Bengals and the Raiders, and we'll be at Ring Central Coliseum in Oakland for that one. Sunday, we're playing some Freeform Call of Cthulhu as we continue with our Freeform story with Nick Larson having been captured by Serpent People. Wednesday next week... Oh, it's Ruff's channel. Oh, I had it backwards. Okay. So the 5th anniversary show is actually next week. It's not this week. My mistake. My apologies on that. I had my wires crossed a little bit. Speaking of war games, though, Wednesday will feature game number 9 on my TACUP Wargaming list as we debut another historic Wings game as we play Tally Ho. And yes, we should have some great games brewing on Conference Championship Saturday. To say nothing of Super Bowl 7, which is already also coming up. That'll be on Monday night. But I'll talk more about that when we get into Conference Championship Saturday. Thank you for watching this video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone. The Oakland Raiders eliminate the Miami Dolphins by a final score of 16-10. Once again, take care.